So if a man consistently implements the chore play, then what's going to happen is that over time he's going to consistently have more work to do. And that doesn't mean he's going to have more sex. It means his baseline for what he's doing around the house is going to go up and up and up and up. And in our group, in the Married Man Cave, there are plenty of guys who do almost everything. There are plenty of guys who go to work and work 40 hours or 50 hours a week and come home and then do almost everything around the house. And they're not having the sex that they want to have. I'm Dennis, the Married Man's Coach, and I help you get more of what you want out of your marriage without sacrificing your manhood or your masculinity. All right, so today's topic is chore play. Chore play. And I know that this is something that every married man at one point tries, and in order to relieve, to satisfy, to cure a low sex marriage. And before I get into the content, if you've ever tried chore play, what was your chore of choice? Like if you're trying to, if you're trying to have more sex with your wife and you're going to do more chores in a way to get that, what do you do? For me, it was washing dishes. That's what I would do. I'd wash dishes. So leave it below in the comments of what it is that you would do. What is it that you would do? So what is chore play? So look, everybody here knows that being married is difficult. And one of the difficult things about it is maintaining a sexual charge between husband and wife so that they both want to have sex with each other, in a year, in a month, in a year, in a decade, right? That's one of the difficult parts. I think one of the easiest parts is being friends with your wife, maintaining civility around the house, and kind of like being friends. I think that's the easy part. But maintaining that charge and maintaining that win rate, if you will, in terms of having sex with your wife, that's the difficult part. That's the part where most guys are suffering. And I think everybody has at one point said, okay, you know what, my wife, she's complaining about being tired and stressed out, so I'm going to go do some housework in order to lighten her load so that she's more willing to have sex with me. So this is what chore play is, right? And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And I know, as I say, it doesn't work in the long term. Like it might in a small moment, in one moment, it might relieve enough tension. She might be pleasantly surprised about it. And so sure, maybe you're gonna be successful the next time you initiate. Maybe. Short term, it might have some winning, some success, but over the long term, the law of diminishing returns is going to kick in, and it's not going to be as successful as it first might be. What's going to happen is that your workload is going to increase, that you're going to take on more and more and more and more of the daily chores. Now, maybe that's the right thing to do, like maybe that's the equitable division of labor in your house. I don't know. But that should be completely separate from the sex question. Whether who washes the dishes, who vacuums the house, who does the yard, whatever the chores are, that conversation should be completely separate from sex. Totally not related. So if the chores around your house need to be more equitable, sure, okay. That's a different conversation. It has nothing to do with sex. So if a man consistently implements the chore play, then what's going to happen is that over time he's going to consistently have more work to do. And that doesn't mean he's going to have more sex. It means his baseline for what he's doing around the house is going to go up and up and up and up. And in our group, in the Married Man Cave, there are plenty of guys who do almost everything. There are plenty of guys who go to work and work 40 hours or 50 hours a week and come home and then do almost everything around the house. And they're not having the sex that they want to have. There's plenty of men in the married man cave that are like that right now. And that's because it becomes normal. You doing more chores becomes normal. Your wife expects it. And once your wife starts expecting something, once anybody starts expecting something from you, it's really hard to get out of that dynamic. It's hard to break that pattern. So that's why Choreplay doesn't work. That's why Choreplay doesn't work. And like I said a minute ago, it might work short term. You might get a one-off. It might work short term, but over the long term, not going to fix a low sex marriage. So what is? I've said it 1,000 times. Learning how to attract your wife. So I think in a marriage, there's 3 kind of big categories of things that both partners need to be aware of in order to create a resilient marriage. So communication skills, emotional needs, what they are and how to meet them, and then attraction. And attraction is by and far the elephant in the room that nobody's talking about, the 500-pound elephant that nobody's talking about. So how do you fix a low sex marriage is that you learn to become more attractive. And that I've talked about that before. Lots of times it's about polarity. It's about becoming more masculine. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. And that's how you do it. And it's not a quick fix. Sorry, if there's just no quick fixes. If a man has been married for six months, maybe there's a quick fix. And maybe a quick fix is like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. A man's been married 6 years, there are no quick fixes. Well, maybe geologically quick fixes. So learning to be attractive is about manning up, becoming more masculine, and learning some things about women that are not popular, or men and women that are not popular in 2021, and how to apply them to your marriage so that you can start rebuilding that charge. And that's a big part of what I do in my coaching program, the Primal Husband. So if you want I do free strategy sessions. So if you want a free strategy session with some actionable tactics and strategies about how to start rebuilding that attraction, just send me a PM, or I'll leave a link in the comments below, and you can click on it and go through that process, fill out a form, and then set up a time. So that is 1% Wednesday for today, gents. Why Choreplay doesn't work. One, it's a covert contract, and if you've read No More Mr. Nice Guy, that's one of the big things, right? Like, if I do this, then she'll do that, and it's all inside your head. Doesn't work as a long-term solution. Might be a short-term benefit, but long-term, it's just going to mean that you're going to end up doing more work. All right, gentlemen, 1% Wednesday. See you guys around the Married Man Cave. Enjoy your life.